Today, we're celebrating Veterans Day the Mad Money way by highlighting companies that honor our vets the best way possible, and that's by hiring them. Take Lockheed Martin, the nation's largest defense contractor by revenue. 20% of the workforce are veterans or even active service members. They've won countless awards for this, and it goes all the way to the top. Jim Taiclet is a graduate of the Air Force Academy. We went out there. What an amazing place. He served during the Gulf War, logging over 5,000 flying hours, mostly in a Lockheed C-141B Starlifter. So why is veteran hiring so important to Lockheed? And how important is this company to our national defense? Let's take a closer look with Jim Taiclet. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of Lockheed Martin. Jim, it's really great to have you back on the show.
Hey, good afternoon, Jim. Always great to be with you.
Thank you. So, Jim, you got a big opening at a company on your top staff. You're trying to figure out who to pick. Do you first say, you know, we want the best, and therefore the best means we got to look for vets?
Yeah, veterans have great attributes, Jim, that translate directly into success in business, especially operational businesses like here at Lockheed Martin. You can see behind me. I'm at the aircraft factory here in Marietta, Georgia today. And in our company, we've got 23,000 veterans. That's over 20% of our workforce. We're always welcoming to them. We support veterans in hiring. We support them in partnerships. We've been donating about $8 million last year for nonprofits that support vets. So we always welcome them anytime we can get them.
All right. So tell me, the term vet's pretty broad. What are the different, let's say, jobs that these people were doing in the military that actually makes sense and translates to good jobs at Lockheed Martin?
Well, Jim, it goes all the way from frontline mechanic on aircraft to managers of people. There's some attributes. There's three of them I think are really important for almost anyone in the military, all the way up to generals. We hire generals, too, once they retire and they're eligible to work with us. And those attributes are, one, teamwork. Everything in the military is done as part of a team, whether it's an infantry squad, it could be a formation of fighter jets that you're part of, or it could be a submarine crew that you're on. Everything's done on teamwork basis, and people learn to work together every day as part of a team and contribute. The second big attribute is they got responsibility and accountability. They come to us with those attributes already, because you've got to be accountable as a military officer, non-commissioned officer, or enlisted person, because everyone else is relying on you, on your judgment, on you performing your job. There's no excuses, no whining. You just got to get it done. And then the last thing is leadership. And leadership is not a rank someone puts on their jacket. It's not having a certain position. It's earning that leadership role by how you treat people, and treat them right. You'll get great results out of them, and you can build your leadership skills. So those are the attributes we look at, all the way from line mechanic all the way up to four-star general.
All right, now I'm going to ask you to do something that may not be fair, but I'm going to do it because you're also in the Air Force. Everything you just listed is something, every single point was something that I felt in all the articles in the book I read about Boeing, they had none of. That Boeing was out for yourself, complaining, looking the other way. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people at Boeing who obviously didn't do that, but that was the narrative. Did they not have enough vets?
Well, Jim, look, Boeing's a great company. It's got a lot of great people, and I'm sure they hire plenty of veterans because they look for the same attributes we do. We're all out, especially, look at Boeing, at Defense and Space, Lockheed Martin. We all want to do what's best for our frontline men and women, so I'm sure that's happening at Boeing, too.
All right, I'm glad to hear that. Now, when you look at a plane, and it costs so much money, and the big overruns for F-35 were before you, do you ever think, you know what, maybe we shouldn't put people in these planes? Maybe we have so many redundancies in these planes because we don't want our pilots, whom we spend a lot of money to train, to be at risk. Do you ever go in and say, you know what, guys, maybe we got to rethink? There are places like Palantir that are saying we should rethink.
We're rethinking our mission sets all the time, and we're doing it with our customers. The optimal view that I have, and I think our senior customers have, is that there's a mix, an optimal mix, of changes over time of manned aircraft and drones, or unmanned aircraft or air vehicles. And that mix right now is something that we've been participating in for decades. There's a vehicle we can finally talk about, a drone called the RQ-170. That's a stealth drone, really significant capabilities on a number of missions. It's been flying for years and years, and hardly anybody knows about it because most of the drone work that we do here at Lockheed Martin is classified. This is one we can finally talk about. But we do everything from quadcopter drones to drones as big as an F-16. We've got an F-16 that we're working with the Air Force at Edwards Air Force Base that flies by AI. There's a safety pilot in the jet, but that plane can be flown autonomously. The other thing we've done at the high end, Jim, is we've taken the Black Hawk helicopter. Everybody knows the Black Hawk, and we've modified it with fly-by-wire systems and artificial intelligence where it is pilot optional. We can fly this helicopter off a tablet. You could be sitting on your couch at home and fly this aircraft, fully capable. It can take firefighting missions. It can go rescue injured people in dangerous situations in bad weather. We got an autonomous Black Hawk. So we're in the business constantly of doing the manned, unmanned mix that's optimal for the mission. And that goes all the way from, again, a quadcopter drone up to a F-16 or a Black Hawk helicopter.
What have you learned from Ukraine? What have you learned from our ally, Ukraine, that we can use to make Lockheed Martin better and our country safer?
We've got to iterate faster from the frontline soldier, airman, sailor, to our factory back here, where we can redesign, recode, write new software, improve our cybersecurity at a much faster pace than the feedback loop is today. And so we're working on that too. One great example I can give you, Jim, is in the Red Sea. There were Houthi missiles being fired, both cruise missiles, drones, ballistic missiles, at our ships, U.S. Navy ships, and commercial shipping, as you know, in the Red Sea. Our ships were at risk because our Aegis radar system was designed to hit high-altitude incoming missiles, not necessarily low-flying drones and cruise missiles. What we did with that situation was we said, let's take all of the targeting data that we can get from all these new threats, feed it back overnight, over and over, day after day, to our team in New Jersey, redo the targeting codes on the Aegis system, which was designed in the 1960s originally, so that we can now target these low-flying threats. And it actually changed the game. Overnight, satellite download, AI-driven updates changed the game in the Red Sea for the U.S. Navy and allowed them to stay in patrol safely there.
Well, you know what? I'm glad I hear this narrative. I read a ton of articles about our military being expensive and kind of clueless and not learning. And then I know that Jim Taiclet's there. I'm saying, but that, did they bother to talk to him? I mean, the guy is a pretty exacting business person. I've known you for a long time in many different phases. So, look, I'm just thrilled you're there. I'm thrilled that you're hiring the vets. Our country's thrilled that you're doing that. And we also know that we're all kept safer because you do. Thank you, Jim Taiclet, Chairman, President, and CEO of Lockheed Martin. Great to see you as always, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Same here. Take care.
Okay, Mad Money's back after the break.
Coming up, after the Nasdaq's worst week since April, the bulls came roaring back with big gains yesterday. So was that a one-day wonder or proof the bears are running out of gas? Cramer's checking the charts. Next.